What's up, everybody? Welcome to Aftermath on YouTube. And guys, we have a very special guest joining me today. It's Nug, and joining me is the limitless one, Keith Lee. What's up, Keith?
Well, greetings and salutations. Nothing much is up on my side, but I'm loving your background a whole lot.
Oh, thank you very much.
Way up as far as I'm concerned.
There's lots going on back. There's all sorts of. There's like some New Day stuff. There's some Hasbro things up. It's crazy.
It's brilliant.
Now, you made the big transition from NXT to Raw in August, and how was that for you? How did you find that transition?
Oh, that was the magnitude was astronomical to go from NXT to walking into Raw and stepping into Randy Orton's face. I don't know many people that have done that. So, yeah, it was a very large transition, especially over those few weeks and fighting him and right into a pay-per-view and then trying to triple threat to get a number one contendership opportunity. Like it was a lot going on.
And a lot of things happened in a very short period of time.
Yeah, to say the very least. Big transition.
What are you finding are the major differences between a Raw and NXT for you?
I think that things can change so very quickly, but I also kind of feel like that's wrestling as a whole. So it's not a huge difference for me. I think the biggest difference is getting to know people that I've either never wrestled before or never met, and just kind of getting accustomed to the way things work at Raw.
Things are a much larger scale than they are at NXT. And there are some people on Raw that have never been in NXT, and you might have never had a chance to meet them.
Absolutely, and that's the case. And at the end of the day, I was actually quite fortunate because I had quite a few friends on Raw when I came up, so I wasn't uncomfortable or unsure about anything. I'm a fairly confident guy anyway, but when it came to the transition, it felt very natural and very normal. So pretty good times.
Now, you already mentioned you got to face off against Randy Orton almost immediately. You've also faced off against Braun Strowman, and now you're part of Team Raw for Survivor Series. This has been a really fast uphill climb for you. All of a sudden, you're right there in the thick of things, and you've just arrived.
Yeah, to say the least, and fighting with Orton, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, like all these different guys was just unexpected, but very grateful for it because those opportunities allowed me to test myself against the best that they had. And I held my own, which is a statement in and of itself. So the goal was to get through Survivor Series, take care of business with Braun, because I'm not done with him yet.
Oh, I didn't think so.
And then we make the transition to trying to get back into that WWE Championship picture.
And I think a lot of fans want to see you in that championship picture because you have held your own with Randy and you've held your own with Drew and up there with Seth and everybody else you've fought so far. What has Keith Lee learned about himself so far being on Raw?
I have learned that even when there's nervous moments and I'm being tested with very new things and pushed very hard and pulled in many different directions, my mental fortitude is something that has allowed me to maintain my composure in all circumstances and take things one step at a time, but also do it at a quick pace and make things happen, make impacts, and change the face of WWE in terms of like the landscape. So I'm grateful for my own willpower and want to be the greatest, not just in WWE, not just in this nation, not just on the planet. I'm trying to be the best in the freaking universe. So that's the goal.
That's a fantastic, that's a lofty goal. That's right to the stratosphere with that goal. Now, you were featured in your entrance theme in NXT. You debut a new entrance theme when you get to Raw, and you're still featured on the top of it. I want to know if we're going to see some studio time for you in the future, possibly singing.
It's something that's been brought up to me even as far back as my NXT theme music, in terms of like putting out an album and what have you, or an EP. And at the end of the day, it's all about timing. So there's a possibility, but unfortunately, I'm not the one that makes that call. But I love music, so if the opportunity comes, I'll definitely make the most of it as best I can.
Maybe you'll end up doing a duet with Elias.
I don't know about that. I don't think that he'd appreciate it after I just power bomb the crap out of him.
And now we've got Survivor Series coming up on November 22nd. You can all watch it live on the WWE Network. And you made your Survivor Series debut last year as part of Team NXT. What was that like, getting your first experience of Survivor Series last year?
I say that was maybe one of the more intense moments of my career, considering you had 15 guys out there representing 3 different brands. And you can never gloss over the fact that I was one of the last 2 in the battle, man. Like, that is huge. It's enormous. And even though I didn't win, I earned some respect, and I made some statements, and I made some waves, and I think that that is something that has contributed to everything that I'm trying to accomplish in terms of groundbreaking movements and impacts and the supposed glass ceiling that I have every intention of shattering. It's something that has shaped what you have today.
That's fantastic. Now we've got Braun Strowman has earned his way onto the team with you, and I know you two don't get along. Sheamus and AJ Styles are on this team. I don't think anybody gets along. Is it going to be difficult for you guys to put aside your differences to work together as a team?
Well, that's the thing, and I made it clear a couple weeks back when I faced Elias to qualify for the team. And I said, I will put aside this thing with Braun in order to commit to this team and give them everything that I have, because that's what I'm about. I am a team player. Now, of course, when Survivor Series comes around, I want to make the impact. I want to be the impact player. I want to make the difference. But I will cooperate to make the most for our team. And when we're done with the team, Braun knows what's up. But until then, patience.
I think that's a good strategy. Get along for now, and then once the match is over, all hell can break loose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've got you and Sheamus and Braun on this team. These are some big men on this team. Now, if you were going to create your ultimate big men team for Survivor Series all time, who from the past would you put on that team? Perhaps with you as a teammate.
Oh, geez. I don't think I belong on that team, man. Under the past, you got to have Bam Bam. You got to have Vader. You got to have Taker. You got to have Kane. And you probably have to have either... I mean, you got to have Andre the Giant, right?
Yeah. He was the sole survivor of the original. I think if that team comes out and you're on the opposite team, you walk out your entrance place, you just turn around, walk back through the curtain.
Yeah, I just go to the ring, I tap the ring 3 times. I'm good. I want the rest of my career.
Looks like 2020 is wrapping up, and we're going to look ahead to 2021. What are your goals for 2021?
I think it really depends on where things stand when this year ends, where I'm at in my grind, my goals, my expectations. If I'm not where I'm hoping I'll be, then the vision refocuses into trying to make a far better entry into the Royal Rumble. Maybe at number 1, I don't know. But that is a thought that has crossed my mind ever since I watched Brock do it. I think that he was slightly arrogant in his strategy going into it. I think that I could approach it from a more intellectual side and make a lot of games out of that. So we'll see what happens.
Now, you did go face-to-face with Brock Lesnar last year at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yes. And, put him on his back. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I look forward to seeing what you'll do at the Royal Rumble and at Survivor Series coming up on November 22nd. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Let's give a round of applause at home behind your screens for the limitless one, Keith Lee. Very nice. Thank you for joining us today, Keith. And you can catch Keith Lee on Monday nights on Raw on Sportsnet 360.